Okay, today is so special just because Nikki and I connected on Instagram on this platform where we're all just working our business and literally building our dream life. And I don't even know how we came across each other, to be honest, Nikki. I don't know if you found me, I found you, whichever, but God is just so good because let me just tell y'all, Nikki had jumped out right off the bat without me even, she didn't even like want me to purchase anything from her business or whatever. She just took me under her wing and was like, I'm going to mentor you. Now we call each other sisters. We call each other friends. And when I hit Vegas in this business, she was boosting me up. It was the last month. And I'm like, girl, I'm stressed. She's like, you got this. And she just took me under her wing. And I'm so grateful because it really has just been the game changer just for me in my personal life and my business as well. And she agreed to hopping on this call. So Nikki, take it away. Thank you so much. And we are ready for the gems. Y'all get your notebooks because she is going to bring the fire. Okay. Turn your camera on if you can. And yeah, let's just have a good time and be present.
Hello, everybody. It's amazing to be here. First of all, let me give honor where honor is due. Thank you so much for having me. Ashley, you're like my little sister. I tell you this, I celebrate you. I celebrate your network. I love everything about you, girl. And you know what? There's something about having like-minded people around you that boosts you and that pushes you. And the one thing I love about you is you're just, you're a bunch of positive beings. Like you're forever, energetic. You're forever pouring into people. And no matter what is going on for you in your life, I just see that you always push through. And, I like to connect with people that are always ready to push through, that don't complain, but they just go and get the job done. And, you are, incredible. And it was amazing to be able to connect with Bethany a little bit earlier, and of course Ariane as well, and just to hear the celebrations, 3 years in the industry, and pushing through as beautiful Black women that we are. And that's one thing for me that I believe that we have to collaborate. We got to work together. There's so much riding against us. There's so much things happening on the outside that if we don't form a collaboration, if we don't connect with each other, then things could go in the wrong direction. And so I'm so proud of you all to see that you are working together and you have, made a decision that, listen, we're going to create this movement. We're going to make it happen. So thank you so much for, it's an honor to be here and to serve you all. So my name is Nikki Sutherland. I'm known as the Money and Mindset Mentor because I believe that you can't get the money without the mindset. And if you have the right mindset, the money will show up. And so I became, a student of the game when it comes to, mindset and money. That was me, but I did it by force. And, the way that I teach and the way that I give value is through storytelling, because I believe that, if you're going to give advice, you've got to have had direct access to the information. You've got to have a testimony on the back of the information. And, there's a lot of people out there that talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. So I'm going to be talking with us. It will be incredible. Let me find the chat box to make sure I can see you all as well. But the way I teach as well is quite interactive. So feel free at any point to just connect in the chat box and just let me know that you're hearing it. And if you feel something that is, connecting with you, or something that you feel like, okay, yeah, we touched a spot, let me know in the chat box so we can, we're going to learn together. We're going to grow together. And so my background is in banking. I spent 15 years in the banking industry, had my first baby, went back to work quite quickly, probably about 4 or 5 months after. It's actually 1 a.m. here in the UK at the moment. And, one of the things I said to myself is if I can work for a bank and put in all that overtime and all that, extra without being paid, then I can definitely do that for myself. And that was one of the reasons why I transitioned into full-time entrepreneurship, as well as having children. Anybody on here have kids? I have 3 beautiful, amazing children. My eldest is 12. I also have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old as well. And so I did the traditional route, did the whole, work my way up inside the banking industry, started off as a, teller, worked my way up into, the head office, was getting, decent amount of money, around 4,000 a month. And then I got pregnant a second time. Now, this time it was a baby girl. And I don't know about you guys, but there's something about having a girl that just shifts stuff on the inside of you. And I was like, I don't want to leave my little girl too early. But with my son, I went back to work 4 months after. With my daughter, things were a little bit different. Now, not only that, right? I was in a relationship that was extremely toxic. I don't know anybody on here if you've ever had a toxic relationship. And I was in this toxic relationship and I was about to leave. Like, I made a decision I needed to leave. And then I found out I was pregnant for him. And I was like, oh gosh, I'm going to be, I'm going to make a decision that most people will probably look at me in a certain type of way, that in the midst of, this big thing that's happening inside your life, i.e. you are about to have a baby, you're also now saying you're going to start and launch a business. Now, I'm rushing the story because I want to get to the actual, the training part of it, but I want you to understand the mindset that you have to have when it comes to really being successful in anything, is that there will be tough decisions that need to be made. Now, the easy thing for me, I've been with him for 15 years. So the easy thing is just to stay. How many of us have heard, I was brought up and bred in the church. And how many of us have heard, it's better the devil right? And so my family, they already knew, the guy. And so it was like, it was traditional to work things out, stay and pray. But when you know that something is not right, when you know that it's toxic, you have to make that tough decision. And so I made a decision that, this wasn't going to happen. And so now I'm in a place where I am a single mom. I have one on the way and one that's about 5, I think my son was. And I'm sitting there like, Nikki, this is not how I envisioned my life to be. Like, I didn't envision, he promised me we were going to get married. 50 years later, there was no wedding. And I'm like, this is not how it was supposed to be. And so I started to go through a little bit of a depression. I was in a state where I was confused. I couldn't go to work. I started to call in sick. Things began to get worse. And when one thing happens, a multitude of things seems to happen all at the same time. And so I'm now pregnant, single, and bearing in mind, on the Instagram, I looked the part. Don't play around. I had, the designer bags. I had the designer clothes. I was on first class flights. I was the corporate girl. People looked at me on social media and thought I had this perfect life. And, I was motivational. I had, I was that girl on Instagram. I was that girl on Facebook. But behind closed doors, nobody knew that my tears were on my pillow. Nobody knew that I was crying every single night. I felt unfulfilled. I felt ugly. I felt like I was one of the ugly girls. I didn't look like them. I didn't have makeup like them. My hair wasn't like theirs. And I always felt lost. I mean, I was too hood for the Christian lot, but I was not rough enough for the roadman. And so I'm in the middle, not really fitting in. I felt like a misfit. And now I'm on the verge of saying, okay, cool, I'm going to start afresh. I'm going to start again. And then I get added to this group chat. And when I get added to the group chat, the name of the group chat was Your Man is Our Man. And there was 7 other girls inside this group chat with my baby daddy in. And all of the screenshots began to drop inside this chat. Like, ladies, I don't know, right? But on top of being pregnant, these hormones that I was feeling, I didn't know where I was going to go to jail because I don't know what was going to happen. But I sat there and I looked at these things. And I don't know about you, but when you have bad news, we seem to sit on it. We seem to stare at it. We keep the stuff. I had a whole folder of all the antics, all the cheating stuff. And I began to just keep reading it. And I tell you this, there's something about the negativity going through your mind. Like, if you keep staring at negativity, nothing is going to change. It's going to keep fueling you and fueling you and fueling you. And so I had all this evidence, all this data. Who I was going to show, I don't know. Why I was keeping this stuff, I have no idea who I was proving it to. And I've got this this folder now of all this stuff and all these girls and, you know, all this stuff going on. And I'm like, Nikki, enough is enough. Enough is enough. You deserve more than this. But I took him back, you know, decided that we were going to make it happen. And, you know, found out I was pregnant. And he was like, listen, you're going to have an abortion or I'm out. I don't want to have nothing to do with you. I don't have nothing to do with baby. And I'm just saying, hold up now. I just forgave you for all these 7 girls. And now you're giving me an ultimate. You're giving me the now. Listen, I'm gonna be transparent here, guys. I tell you this, ladies. This is I didn't even leave him, right? I said to him, I'm not killing my baby. There's no way on earth I'm killing my baby. It's not happening. I'm not doing it. And so I thought deep down that he would get over it. We've been together 15 years. I've forgiven him. And one day he packed his bags. He was like, oh, you ain't gonna do it. I'm leaving. And he packed his bag. I sat there and watched him pack his bags and walk out the door. And here's the lowest part for me. I was begging him to stay. Now, have you ever been in a situation where you're just like, girl, fix up. Do you not know your worth? Like, this person has treated you so badly and you are still begging them to stay. The very situation that hurt you, you cannot stay in the same situation and heal in the same place that hurt you. You just can't. You can't. And I'm there begging this guy to stay, literally clinging him by the ankles. Don't leave me. Stay, please. We can work it out. And he didn't love me. He didn't care about me. And I'm there, the lowest point of my life, crying on the floor, offering him all sorts, you know, begging him. And I remember the day that he walked out, shut the door. I heard the door go. I watched him and the tears began to flow. But let me tell you this was my rock bottom moment. And I think every woman at some point has had that rock bottom moment where they're like, enough is enough. And I remember sitting there crying on the floor. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have no strategy at the time. I didn't have no motivational speech for myself. But I remember sitting there going, in my mind, when I get up from this, you see, there's something about going through something. There is something about when you get up off the floor that you are forced to be reckoned with. If you've ever been through something, the determination when you get up off that floor, you have so much to prove, but it's not for the outside world, it's to yourself. I made a decision, I'm gonna love myself. I made a decision, I'm gonna go through personal development. How many on here know the importance of personal development? I don't need to preach to the choir. But I'm not talking about that any old personal development, the 3-minute videos that we watch on YouTube and, that I'm talking about the real stuff, the stuff that heal you, the stuff that wake you up and shake you up and make you confront your daddy issues, the stuff that tell you that it's time to get to work, the stuff that tell you that you're living in such a small-minded way and that you got to believe bigger and believe in yourself. I started to listen to some heavy-loaded personal development. I started to pay attention to the people that I was around. You see, during the time now when my baby father left me, isn't it interesting that one of the things I was worried about is what everybody's going to think. Everybody's going to know that I'm a single mom. Everybody's going to know that we don't have the perfect life. Everybody's going to know that that things are not as they seem. And let me tell you this, ladies. Who are everybody? I had to humble myself. I had to say to myself, hold up now, Nikki, there's 8 billion people in the world. Everybody don't even know you. At the time, I only have 4,000 followers. Everybody don't know you. And nobody cares. Because when you're down and out, when you're down and out, everybody ain't there to help you. So why do you think now that everybody's going to be judging you and everybody's going to think about you? Everybody doesn't know you. And so if everybody doesn't know you and there's 8 billion people out there in the world, why are you worrying about the small minority of people? That's like when we say things like, oh, I don't do people. I don't trust people. I don't trust no one. I don't do girls. Girls are too bitchy. But how many girls do you know? how many people do you know? You mean 3 people 3 people were bitchy to you, or 3 people betrayed you, and now you've ended it for the whole human race. You don't say everybody's against me, everybody's doing this, and no, it's not everybody. And so this is where I learned to start affirmations. I started to affirm myself. So instead of saying all these negative things about me that, I don't do this, I don't do that, and people this, and I'm gonna be by myself, and I don't want no man, and I don't want this, and I don't want that, because all people are this, and all men are cheats, and all girls are bitchy. I started to reaffirm myself, and this is something I want to encourage you all to do, is whatever you feel like is a stumbling block right now in your life, rewrite your affirmations to counteract it. So one of the things I used to say is that successful people are around me. I have good people around me every single day. Right? I used to affirm to myself that I have good friends. How many of you could be honest and admit that you really want good friends? I used to say to myself, I don't want any friends because they're too snake. I'm the one pouring in all the time and nobody pours into me, and people don't love me the same way I love them. And I used to keep saying this stuff, and guess who I started to attract? You start to attract what it is that you say out of your mouth. And so now I started to say that good people are coming into my life. People are pouring into me. Good people that don't need nothing from me are going to pour into me. And I'm going to have good friends, and I'm going to be around good, positive women. I started to build the image in my mind. I was like, I know that I'm going to have a group of girls, and we're going to have the white suits, the red bottom shoes, and we're going to take some pictures, and we're going to go to Dubai. And I start to now affirm, because people think you only affirm your business. You need to affirm your connections, your relationships, the things that you want out of your life. You start to affirm these things, print pictures of, put them around your house, begin to affirm what it is that you want, and counteract the things that you seem to have a stumbling block around. So I started to learn these affirmations, and I started to do something, and I want to encourage you guys to do the same, is something called mind work, heart work, and phone work. And I taught this to Ashley a couple of weeks ago. So your mind work, your heart work, and your phone work every single day. Now, your mind work, very simply, are your affirmations. These are things that you're going to say to yourself every single night before you go to bed. Rewrite your affirmations. So some of the affirmations I have is dynastic wealth is my birthright. Okay. Every day I tell myself that dynastic wealth is my birthright. Every single day, I am rich. I am wealthy, right? I have good people around me. I have good, trusted people around me. Powerful, new and powerful leaders are joining my business every single day. I start to affirm, I am a powerful mom. I am an amazing wife. I am a good friend. I'm a good daughter. Because I used to get told when I was chasing and, going for the grind, I used to get told that I'm not a good mom. And we're going to talk about that, right? We're going to talk about that. But all those judgments, I'm a good Christian. They told me because I had sex outside of marriage, I was a good Christian. So I had to affirm myself, right? So now why do you say it every night? Because whilst you're sleeping, these are the last words you hear, and it's going to start to shift your paradigm. How many of us growing up had certain paradigms told to us that we got to shift? We got to brainwash ourselves to get rid of some of those old paradigms that we were told. How many of us are told this? Don't beg no friend. I was told that when I was, younger. My mom used to say, don't beg no friend. If they don't want to talk to you, you don't talk to them. Find some new people. Don't beg no friend. Well, let me tell you this. In certain situations, you do have to chase it. Mentorship. You must chase down a mentor. If you see someone who has what it is that you want, they're not going to respond to you straight away sometimes. Sometimes they're busy. Let me tell you this, the people that you aspire to be around will be busy. That's why you're attracted to them. And so you message them once and then you think to yourself, oh no, they didn't respond, screw them. No, you got to chase what it is that you want. You got to be obsessed with it. And so I had to reprogram myself, to humble myself, to say, yes, new friends. I can't keep saying no, new friends. Yes, new friends. And I will beg friend if I need to. I will chase down what is important to me, because if it's important to me, it's not going to be easy. If I'm looking to roll with a billionaire, probably he has a billion things to do. And so he may not prioritize me straight away. So I have to make sure I show that billionaire that I am worth spending that time with. And that takes time. How many of us got told money don't grow on trees? Right? This is why dynastic wealth is my birthright, because money is paper and paper grows on trees. Money does grow on trees. There's an abundance of it. There's so much money out there, guys. People don't even realize that there's a wealth transfer. The money doesn't just evaporate. The money is moving from where? The poor and middle class, and it's moving over to the rich and wealthy. This is the wealth transfer. It's just like if you, was doing investing, some people have a profit, some people have a loss, but you don't have a loss without a profit. Somebody over here is losing, but somebody over here is winning. That's the two sides to it. It's like a positive and a negative battery, right? And so I start to reaffirm myself every night. Before I go to my bed, I'm saying these affirmations, right? And then in the morning, you do the heart work. This is the goals of your heart. What's the goals of your heart? Every single day, you write out your goals. Every day, you write out your goals. Why? Because if you have a target and you don't know what it is, you can't shoot for what you don't know. You must know where you're going. You've got to have direction in your life. Every single day, before my feet touches the ground, after I've said my prayers, I am doing my heart work. I'm going to write down my goals for the day, right? These are things that I do every single day. Mind work before I go to bed. Heart work in the morning, writing down the goals of my heart. If I had to ask you this question, what's your number one goal for this year? What is the goal of your heart? What's the real mission? And I don't mean a rank. I don't mean, financially. I mean the goal of your heart, the mission, the purpose. Why did God create you? Why are you here? And most people, you ask them that question, they have no idea. And so if you understand the goal of your heart, you can then start to say, and here's another affirmation I started to say, I am open and receptive to anyone and any opportunity that God may bless me with in order to get to the goal that He has put on my heart. You see, I used to be so closed-minded. How many of you have met people, you want to tell them about your opportunity, or you want to tell them about even a three-way call to speak to someone who's definitely more wealthier than them, but because they're closed-minded, they're not going to be able to see. How many times have we been closed-minded? Well, we haven't been open enough, receptive enough. You can be in an opportunity and still be closed-minded. Do you know that you can be a part of a network and still miss out on opportunities within that network if you're not open-minded, if you're not ready to receive what it is it's giving? And a lot of people think that that they've done it when they sign up. No, it's the signing up is just the first, but you got to sign up every day. You're signing up every single day for the opportunity that you're in. You've got to keep pushing. You've got to keep making the decision every single day. Especially if you have a monthly auto-ship, you're making the decision every month, right? You're making the decision every single month. It's not good enough just signing up today. You got to keep going. You got to keep going. You got to keep growing. And so the goals of your heart, very important every day. What's the goals of your heart? And then the last one is the phone work. Now, the phone work is very important. Why? Because that's going to bring you in your money. That's going to bring you in your connections. That's going to enlarge your territory when it comes to your network. And so your phone work is 10 phone calls a day. And I know we live in an era where social media is like, the be all and end all. But there ain't nothing beat picking up the phone and hearing somebody's voice. Ain't nothing beat having a one-on-one conversation. There's nothing that beats one-on-one conversation. So 10 phone calls a day, 10 conversations, powerful conversations. Maybe in one day, 2 of those conversations, one might be a mama, one might be a grandma, right? But you want to have 10 powerful conversations every single day. And 80% of that should be around your business. 80% of that should be, building connections, building relationships so that you're able to really enlarge your territory. Right? Heart work, mind work, heart work, phone work. Mind work, heart work, phone work. Every single day, mind work, heart work, phone work. I tell you this, if you can get your muscle to stretch every day, mind work, heart work, phone work, and you do this solidly for 6 months, 9 months, a year, you're going to see drastic results. And I'm not even just talking in your business, the way that you think, the way that you move, even when it comes to phone work, mind work, heart work, and phone work, right? You're going to see some differences in the way that you move, in the way that you connect, in the way you believe in yourself, the way that you love yourself, right? So I started to do this stuff and I started to feel confident. But how many of you know when you make a decision, that's when the enemy comes? So now I'm pregnant and, I'm making a decision that I'm going to get up. This is time to rebuild. This is time to get myself going. This is time. I know that I'm called. I know that God is putting me through this situation for a reason. And then my hip pops out. Now, bearing in mind, I'm like 4 or 5 months pregnant. And now I'm having health issues. Can you see when it comes, it comes? So first relationship issues. Now we got health issues. So now my hip pops out. And now I'm having mobility issues. I can't really move around the way that I want to move around. And then after that, now I start having issues at work. Now I want to tell you something, right? Where I worked in the office that I got promoted to, in this corporate job in the bank, I was the only one that looked like me. The youngest Black female in the entire department. Every minority you could think of, that was me. Have you ever been in a place where you're the minority in so many different areas and you always feel like you have to fight to get your voice heard, especially women in our industry? Come on now, ladies. A man will say something, they jump to it, but you said it 2 weeks ago, ain't no one want to listen. You're putting the ideas forward, and every idea you put forward gets shut down. Ain't nobody want to take on board. You see, you do a call, ain't no one promote. But when they do the call, they're promoting 10 times through, right? And so I'm sitting there and I'm just like, this don't feel like me. I don't feel like I don't fit in. Here's the misfit situation. Do I have any misfits on here? Because I just know that I felt like a misfit. And I'm sitting there like, yo, something don't feel right. I don't want to be here. Now, I love my job. I know that speaking and training and all of this is my calling, but I don't feel like I'm in the right environment. I don't feel like these people appreciate me. I don't feel like I should be doing this for these people no more. And so I make a decision. I'm like, you know what? If I can do it for the bank, I can do it for me. If I can put all this effort into them, I can do it for me. Now, bearing in mind, I'm getting this epiphany while I'm pregnant now, right? And so I'm now saying to myself, Nikki, and let me tell you this about sharing your vision with people, in particular family, friends. I start saying it out loud. I'm like, yo, I realize I'm making the bank a lot of money. If I only did a portion of what I do for the bank, I could start making 10,000 a month. Now, here's the thing. You got to know your numbers. Write that down in your message. Write that down in your checkbook or whatever you're taking notes on. I must know my numbers. You say you want to make 10,000 a month. You say you want to make 20,000 a month, 100,000 a month. But do you know what it's going to take? Do you know how much your product is? Do you know if you divide that product by how many customers you need, now you have an accurate figure of what it is that you wanted. And so here it is now, I'm looking and I'm saying 10,000 a month. And I'm like, okay, cool. My tickets to my events are 150. They were at the time. And if I can sell the amount of tickets, divide that by 150, this is how many customers I need to sell to every single month in order to get my 10,000 a month. And I was like, yo, it's not that much. It's not a lot. It's just 466 pounds a day. I can do this. Nikki, you're doing more for the bank. And so I go around to my grandmama's house and I sit down and we have a big family, 16 great-grandchildren. My great-grandma had 16 children. That's my great aunties and uncles. My grandma had 6 kids. I'm the oldest of 9. And so we're all in my grandmama's house and I'm sitting down and I'm like, guys, I got an announcement to make. I'm gonna leave my corporate job and I'm gonna be an entrepreneur. Now, we have Caribbean parents. I don't know about you guys, but you say entrepreneur, they're gonna say entrepreneur who? Can you even spell entrepreneur? What does that even mean? And then you've got my grandma and my auntie. She starts to get on her high horse. You know, everyone's got that auntie that is so judgmental. In fact, they're so judgmental because they're competing against you because they can see that you're ahead of them when they were your age. She's like, oh, look at her. She's lost her mind because her man's left her. Isn't it interesting how people like to call out your issues in the midst of you talking about something else? And, you know, so my auntie starts to say, oh, she's lost her mind. I don't understand what's going on. And then you have some of my uncles and that say, yes, the girl lose her head. She lose her mind. She gone crazy. Then you have the over spiritual ones taking out the Bible, reading the scripture because you've gone crazy. They think the spirit, the devil's come inside you. So now they have to pray away your entrepreneurial spirit because it's not the spirit they recognize. And so I'm in here and my mom probably was the only person that said, girl, I got you. All I wanted was one person to say they'd watch the kid if I was out doing what I needed to do. And they were all judgmental. None of them understood. But let me tell you this, none of them made $1 million. None of them had the money that I wanted. In fact, and this is where you guys have to have the posture sometime. When you hear people downgrading your little business, when you hear people telling you that you're having a pipe dream, that you ain't never going to be rich and you ain't never going to be where you are, and you're just dreaming and you're just hoping and your little business ain't never going to take off. When you hear people say that, you just need to really posture up. And I dare you to take a look at them and say, cuz, for real? Because when was the last time you made $1 million? Like the last time I checked, you were the brokest person I know. And so therefore, I'm not looking to take advice from you. You see, because you don't stand up to these people, you make them turn you insecure when you should be batting it back to them and saying, listen, I'm hanging around millionaires. Who are you hanging around with? I'm taking my advice from millionaires. Who are you hanging around? In fact, I'm hanging around billionaires. Who are you hanging around with? And so I had to bite back and I had to say, listen, it's all good. I ain't even going to do a bag of talking right now. But what I am saying is this is going to be for all of us. And so I am going to make it. I am going to earn $10,000 a month. I am going to quit my banking job. I am going to be that girl. My children will be proud of me as a mom. They will not be a statistic. I will not be a statistic. I will get up and I will do what it is that I know the God has called me to do. I feel it in my spirit that there's something on the inside of me, and I'm not going to let you kill what it is that God's put on the inside of me. And so now I don't just need to build a business, but I got something to prove because they're waiting for my downfall. Do you know that there's some people out there waiting for you to quit your little business? Do you know right now there's people waiting for you to say, roll over and to go and get a job because maybe, this business didn't work out? Do you know that there are people praying right now for you to fail so they can prove themselves right? Well, guess what? I stopped looking at the haters and I said, I need to do it for my mom because she was the one that believed in me. There's some people that believe in you to the point where you got to win for them. Don't do it for your haters no more. You got to do it for the ones that believe in you, for the ones that have made sacrifices for you, for the ones that's babysitting the kids so you can go out to that event, to the ones that are doing, maybe giving you a little bit extra money, maybe not taking rent from you if it's your parents or whatever it is, so you can live the life that you desire, and then you go back and get them. Let me tell you this, sometimes you got to leave so that you can come back and lead. You can't carry everyone with you. You can't make it happen for everyone. Some of you are pushing water up a hill and you're wondering why these people ain't joining your business. You're wondering why they're not joining your vision because you're bringing the wrong people. Listen, some people are charity and some people are kings. Now, let me teach you something. This is something I learned. And I tell you this, personal development is powerful, guys. Powerful, powerful stuff. We've been taught to give to the poor. Yes or yes. We've always been taught to give to the poor. I want to teach you something today that changed my life. Find a way to give to a king. Stop giving to the poor. You're going to say, Nikki, how are you going to say stop giving to the poor? Let me tell you this. You reap what you sow, right? So yes, you're going to give to the poor. You'll give. So you see a beggar or you see a homeless person on the floor and you drop some money in the bucket. Do you go back there next week expecting a return or expecting a pat on the back or expecting them to bless you back? No, you give to them because they are charity, right? So you're giving to charity. You're not giving to poor. I want you to understand this because poor is the mindset. Poor is passing over opportunities repeatedly. So you're going to give to your charity, right? In fact, you're going to bless your charity. It's not giving, it's blessing. You're going to bless your charity, but you're going to give to a king. What do I mean by that? There's a seed attached, and I don't have time to go into it, but I will give you the book. It's called 7 Laws You Must Honor to Have Uncommon Success by Dr. Mike Murdock. 7 Laws You Must Honor to Have Uncommon Success by Dr. Mike Murdock, right? Now, here's the thing. Back in the days, here's what used to happen. If you were a king, you'd put on these big banquets. You'd have all of these amazing luxury cutlery, plates. You had gold goblets. Everything was gold. You guys, if you think about kings, you think about, prestige, gold, wealth, money. And the way that a king would display their wealth, the way that a king would show that they were a king was by their giving, okay? And they would invite other kings. It's another side note, but you want to make sure your network is in alignment. So they would invite other kings, and the other kings would come and they would feast. And the way that the king would show its kingship, its prestige, would be to feed other kings, because what's the word? The feedback was coming from other prestigious kings. So they would feed kings. Now, here's what would happen. When the banquet was over, the kings would go back, and one of them would now host the party. And they would then invite the rest of them. Now, here's the thing now. The king would not do exactly the same as the king before. They would want to do what? Outdo the king, because your kingship was aligned to your giving. So who the top king was the one that could give the most. So when you give to a king, someone's going to catch this in a minute. When you give to a king, you're not giving to receive, but by default, you understand that there is a blessing that comes back from when you give to a king. When you give to a king, you know that they can't help it. How many of you had grandparents that when they see you, they always take something out their bag, even if it's a little sweetie, they give it to you. Even if it's they're going to come and say, come, let granny cook for you. They never ever let you out of their sight without them giving you something. You see, the elders, they learned this power of giving. Giving has kingship assigned to it. You see, this is why when many people are around you, you don't understand it. But remember, when you give to the charity, you don't get nothing back, because they do not understand how to be a king. They don't understand kingship. They don't understand the power of giving. And so when I was with my ex, when I was with my baby father, I was giving. I got nothing back because he didn't understand the laws. So you got to understand that there are laws to success. There's laws to this life. And so giving just isn't about money. It's not just about, you could give your time. You know, you have a mentor, they put on an event. What do? You share that event. That's a way to give. Do you know the person that shares the event the most is the person that's going to get blessed back by that mentor? Remember, when you give to a king, they can't give you back the same. They're going to give you back more. Have you ever seen? This is why humility is a big thing in our industry, because most people don't understand it. They call it begging friend, teacher's pet, or, whatever else, licking, whatever they call it. Right? They say all these names to get our paradigm twisted, and we end up blocking our blessing, not knowing that giving is for us. It's not for them. How good are you at edification? How good are you at sharing events? How good are you at promoting for your convention, promoting for your next event, promoting for call? Do you know everything is an event? A freeway call is an event. The convention is the event. Your weekly meetings is an event. Zoom calls are events. How good are you at edifying? That is a way of giving. I would never have my mentor come to an event that's empty. Never. I'll never dare dream about it, because that would be poor kingship. That would be dishonorable. So I started to learn all this stuff. When I learned it, I realized I was like, okay, cool. I watch how people give, because how they give will determine the blessings that they have in their life. And so I look at people and I'm like, okay, she's a king. He's a king, because of their heart. They give. Not every time you have to give for a charge. Not every time you have to give. There's no way you can give to a king and not receive a blessing in return. Zero. It's the law. You know the law? What goes up must come down. You throw something out, the law of gravity is going to pull it back down. These are the laws of success. There's a law of the mind. There's so many different laws. You heard the law. You reap what it is that you sow. So can you sow into kings and give to the poor? When you give, you're not looking for anything in return. When you sow, you're not looking for anything in return, but you know the law says that I'm going to reap what I sow, right? Do you understand the difference? So you're not giving to receive, but when you give, you know that's a seed, and that seed must grow as long as it's in good ground. So I began to be a student to the game. And this is where I learned about network marketing. This is where I started to study successful people. I'm like, yo, there are some people out there that's making some crazy amounts of money, and they ain't doing half the work that I'm doing, running around for this bank like a headless chicken, missing out time with my kids. I started to understand that this industry was powerful if it was done in the right way. And yes, we have a lot of people with bad, negative connotations with our industry, but let me tell you this, there's good and bad in everything. There's good and bad everywhere. There was good people in the corporate world, there was bad people in the corporate world. There's good people in McDonald's, there's bad people in McDonald's. In fact, somebody who's gone to university and done 5-6 years is working in McDonald's right now. What's good about that? So there's good and bad in everything. And so for me, I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to be a student to this game. I'm going to start learning. I'm going to start understanding this. And so within 1 year of being in this industry, I quit my full-time job and I was making $10,000 a month. I did what it was that I said I was going to do. Now, was it easy? Hell no. There were times when I had to get to an event and there was no one to babysit the kids. How many of you have children here who know what I'm talking about? Ain't no one about to look after your kids, and you got to get to an event. You have to be there, but no one's looking. Let me tell you this. Your children are not an excuse why you can't go. They are the reason why you must go. You never allow the why to stop you from achieving what it is that you are supposed to do. So there were times when my children were in the events with me. There's times I'm talking on stage, my baby's in the pushchair at the front. One of the team are there just watching her while I'm on stage. I've got another baby at the front. My other son's there taking notes. And then you got the whispers from family members saying that you're a bad mom and you're this and you're that and you're that. But I knew my why. You hear people say, my why is financial freedom. My why is to retire my parents. Screw that. That weren't my why. My why was never to go back to where I was before. My why was never to be as broke. When my baby father left me, that's when the debts start coming in. That's when I couldn't even afford to live. There was a time when I went to the restaurant after church with my son and I checked my account and there wasn't enough money to feed us both. Now for me, that was another moment. That was a moment where I said to myself, this is going to be the last time that I'm going to be scraping. This is the last time that I'm not going to have enough to feed my son. He's never going to know. And I remember when he started to eat, he said, Mommy, are you not hungry? I said, no, Mommy's full. This time, tear rolling down my eye, pregnant. And I just have to, you don't want to see the kids see it. So you just rub it like that. And I watched him eat and I was hungry. My belly was rumbling. And so when people ask me my why, I make it absolutely clear. I say, listen, my why wasn't about retiring any parents. My why was just making sure I never got to that place ever again. I'll never be broke again. I'll never be. Listen, it is not modest to be broke. In this day and age where technology is taking over the world, where you can have a link in your bio and you can go online and you can tell people, click the link in my bio and get paid. Listen, I was talking to a guy on Instagram the other day and he was telling me his TikTok is bringing him $2,000 a day. And he said he's playing games and doing battles and whatever it is over there. I said, listen, bro, I'm going to get used to going on TikTok. I said, listen, I reactivated my TikTok account. I started to post over there because I said, listen, they ain't leaving me behind now. I'm going to make some money over TikTok as well. Okay, these people are making money. How can you be broke in 2023 in an age where people are opening toys on YouTube and getting paid millions? There's no way. Now, if you're feeling a tough time right now, you're going through a situation where times are rough and times are tough, I get it. I was there, but here's what I had to do. I had to make a decision to quit doing the same thing over and over again and decide to take massive action. You can't sit in the same place doing the same thing and expect your life to change. It's not going to happen. And as much as I wanted to sit there, keep the curtains closed, Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On, Keisha Cole, where were you? I was there. I was doing that for months. But it didn't get me anywhere, ladies. It got me nowhere, just stress. Looking at all the messages. I had to delete it. One day I woke up and said, enough is enough. I deleted the folder. Why do I need to see the receipts? I know exactly what's going on. Some of you got to cleanse your phone, delete old screenshots, delete messages, delete old group chats. Get the hell out of certain group chats. And who are you keeping the receipts for? The screenshot police? Like, no, you know what it is. Who are you proving? Are you going to court to prove any of this stuff? Get rid of the negativity out of your phone. Cleanse your phone. Cleanse your life. Get rid of some of the old stuff that's not going to take you nowhere and make a decision that you are not going to be your past. So Stop talking about the past. Stop talking about who left you. Stop talking about who shoulda, coulda, woulda. At the end of the day, they did it and no one owes you nothing. No one cares. And that sounds like a harsh message, but when you're rock bottom, you really see who's there. It's you and Jesus. Sometimes you're sitting there and you're like, yo, Lord, after all I've done for them, I remember when I was up, I was paying for holidays for them. I was taking them everywhere. And this is why you got to be a good steward of your money. If you've ever had an abundance, if you've ever had wealth and lost it, it's more painful than if you haven't had it at all. Let me tell you this. And I've had it and lost it. I had a £1 million property portfolio by the age of 21 years young. And I had to start over when a baby father left me and start to rebuild because I was used to a certain lifestyle. You see, I'm going to say something bold right now. I don't budget. I don't like budgeting. I hate budgeting. I don't go down. I don't scrimp. I fly first class. I like to eat where I eat. I eat in nice places. I don't do anything low level. And if you don't like to do anything low level, that means if you're not going to reduce your outgoings, you have to increase your income. And so you hear a lot of people talk about, you know, it's cutback, it's economy crisis, cutback. Well, I don't agree with cutback. I like my life. Listen, life is too short to be poor. Life is too short to be broke. Life is too short to sit in economy. I am sorry. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's because you ain't never sat in first. Because when you sit in first, you ain't never going back to economy. There's something that stretches your mind. And so if you understand that you live a life, where the girls that live nice? Where the girls that know that they have nice, my mom calls it chest high, where you want the nice stuff. You want to eat lobster and crab and you want to eat good stuff. Then you have to increase your income. Don't keep talking about cutbacks. You want to increase your income so you can live the lifestyle that you deserve. I believe that I'm a child of a king. Do we have any children of kings on this call? If you are a child of a king, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, in fact, he created the world with a word. He said, let there be light. And there was light. And so if he creates the world with his word, and the word says that you are created in his image, that means you too can create with your word. And so what are you speaking every day? Are you saying, oh, I'm broke? Are you saying, oh, I don't have enough? You asking for, you're playing too small. I just want an extra $2,000 a month. You know, you better declare it that I'm a 6-figure earner, 7-figure earner. I'm going for multi-millionaire status, billionaire status. You got to speak what it is that you seek. And the problem is a lot of people, what they do, and what I used to do is I used to speak the situation. Oh, I don't have enough. My baby father left me. Oh my God, I don't have this. I don't have that. And the more that you speak it is the more that it comes into your life because it's self-fulfilling prophecy. You're manifesting what it is that's coming out of your mouth. But the moment you begin to speak life, guess what happens? Life shows up. Have you ever had that favorite car that you were looking for and, you know, you had it in your mind what car you want, and all of a sudden that's the only car you see. Why? Because your paradigm will attract to you how you think. So if you keep seeing destruction, it's because you keep speaking destruction. If you keep saying, listen, the chair that I'm sitting on was first created where? In the spirit before it was created in the physical. Someone had to think, I'm going to create a chair. So it was created first in the mind, and then it was created physically. That means anything you want, you create in your mind first, and it has to show up in the physical. You create with your word. So review your speaking. I said, Nikki, what are you speaking? I changed the way I speak. I changed the people I hang around. Sometimes you got to just, you want it badly for them, but they don't want it badly for them. And sometimes you got to say, okay, let me just keep it moving. And you don't have to announce, you don't have to be like, you're too negative for me, so I don't think we can talk anymore. You don't have to make a big announcement. You just slowly take yourself away. You slowly stop answering the calls and you slowly stop ringing. And you now get yourself into rooms of people that you want to be around. You got to be an intentional marketer. Do you market intentionally? Like one of the things I started to do when I knew I was in a situation, I need to make some sales, I need to make some money, I went on Eventbrite and I started to look for events in my area that were free. I got myself in rooms around people that were intentionally networking. You say you want successful people in your business, where are successful people hanging out? Are you hanging out? Where the single ladies at? Any single ladies on this call? Any single lady? Where the singles at? I got something for you ladies. So you're single. How many of you, let's be honest, because we're manifesting, in an ideal world, how many of you want a rich man? How many of you want a man that just has money? You don't want to be, listen, I tell you this, I don't want to be babysitting no man. Right? If you want a rich man, just declare it in the chat right now. This is girl talk, so we can have this conversation. So you want a rich man, but you keep telling yourself you don't go nowhere. So where you gonna find him? Oh, let me get it. The Amazon delivery guy. That's your rich man, because that's all you see. The milkman, the postman, the Amazon guy. Is he the Amazon guy? Because if you want a rich man, where do rich people hang out in your town? Now, we have a place here in the UK, in London, called Chelsea, Kensington, Mayfair. These are like the big rich areas. Now, maybe, I don't know what area you live in. I don't know where the rich people hang out where you live. But maybe, even if you can't afford a 3-course meal there, maybe you can't even afford a drink, why don't you go there and hang out? Why don't you buy a glass of water every 3 hours and you just sit there with your laptop? Do you think that you maybe a rich guy may see you one day, but you see, you're not in the right environment. You're waiting for the Amazon guy. You're sitting at home telling yourself that I don't go nowhere. I don't do this. I don't do that. And then you're saying to yourself, where the rich man at? There's no guys. And now you're manifesting all of this. All the guys want is this, and all the guys want. Well, where are you hanging out? Because you're hanging out where the guys do all of that. You're hanging out in the places, you're hanging out in the places where you don't want. So now you got to be intentional. It works in your business. It works everywhere, guys. I told you this stuff works. So you want a rich guy. Now you got to go to the rich places. Faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. In fact, I'm going to say this. If there's no works, you lack faith. Because faith is a doing word. It's a verb. It's an action word. So you say you want it, but you got to move to it. You got to do it. Sometimes it may take a little finances. Listen, one of my girls, she was like, I don't even know what the dating apps are like now, but when we were like back in the day, I'm gonna say this quiet, my husband's here, but back in the day when we used to look at these sites, I was on a site called Plenty of Fish. I don't even know if Plenty of Fish is still alive, but Plenty of Fish was plenty of fish, guys. There was plenty of fish out there, right? And no one was rich on there, right? But my friend, she was like, oh, she probably bougie. She was like, oh, I ain't got no plenty of fish. They were broke guys just looking for one thing. And she was like, she joined this millionaires dating site. I was like, girl. She was like, yeah, it's just £250 for the year membership. I was like, $250. Now, hear me with my broke mindset. I didn't want to pay. So I was on Plenty of Fish. This time she was paying for membership. Now, this girl was not a millionaire, but she was paying for mentorship to be around the millionaires. 2 years later, she married a multi-millionaire, and I was still single, going back and forth with my baby father. What does that say to you? You just, by the law of averages, you're just going to hang out in their environment. Who are you hanging around? You hang around your broke friends, your cousin and them at a chicken shop, talking about whatever program they've been watching. You've got to put yourself in the environment around the type of people that you want. Even if you can't afford it at the moment, you got to find ways, fight to get in the room. I love it when people say they can't afford the subscription to get started. I said, listen, girl, the fact that you can't afford it, that means you need it. That's why you need to get in. This is the reason why you need to get in, because I don't ever want you to be in a position where you can't even afford. Actually, what's the monthly subscription here? You're telling me you can't even afford, the basic little monthly subscription. There's no monthly subscription. One investment. What's the average? 200. You're telling me now that you gotta wait a whole 30 days to make a $200 investment. You need this more than you think. You need this more than you think. If you in this day and age now, guys, if you're 30, 25, and you've been working for 10 years, 6 years, 7 years in the countries that we're from, which is developed countries, and you're scratching for $200, you are in a financial crisis. As an ex-banker, I'm just telling you now that that's a financial crisis. That's an issue. If you don't have $200, you don't have $500, you don't have $1,000 to invest in your business, to buy some product, to make some money turn. You don't have some money to invest in a business and you've been working 5-10 years and you don't have $200 available? Not only do we need to pray, we need to strategize now. You need to start recruiting now. You know, some people, I want to test the product before I share. You know, no. You're in a crisis. You need to share now. Go on your Instagram live and press live now. In fact, get multiple devices. Go live on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. You need to make some money. You broke. And that's not just little broke. That's broke. Like, that's broke to the level where, yo, you're in a crisis. You know, like when you're dying and you need CPR and you rush you to the emergency room. This is that level for your finances. Your finances are you're about to die. And so when you're in a desperate situation, you got to take desperate measures. Oh, I don't have the money. Well, if you don't have the money, what are we going to do about it? How many of you hear people say they don't have the money? Don't just agree with them. I don't get in alignment with that. You are challenged the question. You want me to give you a question? Here's a question. Wow. How long have you lived like that? How long have you been in a position where $200 is an issue? And you work in America? I think I need to get you on a freeway call because I'm so sad to hear that. That's terrible. Oh my God. How long have you lived like that? I'm so sorry. Oh my God, I didn't even know you was in that position. I would have hit you up earlier. God. 200. Girl, we need to pray. I feel so bad for you. You see, what you do is you agree with them. I don't get in agreement with that $200. I know my worth. $200, you're not worth $200? Now, come on, ladies. Some of our hair is worth more than $200. I know you do the shampoo, but some of their hair, do they shampoo the weaves as well, Ashley? I'll tell you this, some of their hair worth more than $200. How about this one? Oh, I need to speak to my spouse before I get started. I need to discuss with my husband. How much did your hair cost? $700, $2,000. Oh, and did you discuss with your husband before you made that $700 investment on your head that gives you no return? Oh, no, you didn't. You see, we only want to discuss with our spouse when we're insecure about the decision, but you didn't discuss when you bought that hair, baby. You don't need to discuss with him. Tell him that the Spirit of God came over you and you decided to be a whole boss and invest in yourself. It's $200. You mean to say your husband's not going to allow you to spend $200 on yourself? Girl, you need one of our mindset sessions. He said, don't get in agreement with excuses. I don't get in agreement with excuses. And so I want to give you some value before we cut out. So yeah, so we hit that. Guys, I tell you, my family are so supportive now. Sometimes you got to hit the goal and then they turn around. Don't convince them. Just show them with your results. You know, my mom doesn't have to work. You know, my husband's mom, and I remarried and I have an incredible husband that loves me and treats me well, that doesn't cheat on me, that allows me to live in my calling and my purpose. I had another baby, so I have 3 beautiful children. And I'm living the dream. I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful. You know, over here, I'm not sure if it's the same here, but over here, we're just submitting our taxes and stuff like that. And I'm speaking to my accountant. I'm going to be registering $100K a month. Going from the girl that had nothing, that couldn't even afford lunch, that couldn't even afford to feed herself, that had low self-esteem, that felt ugly. Now I'm unapologetic. Now I don't care what anybody thinks of me, what everybody thinks of me. Everybody don't know me. I don't care. Because when I was on the rock bottom floor, they wasn't there. And so I'm unapologetic about my successes. I'm doing big things this year. God has blessed me. He's given me an amazing network. He's given me an amazing talent. I'm speaking on stages all across the world outside of my network marketing company. Because what you want to do is you want to get this network marketing money in so you can then feed your dream, so you can then feed yourself, right? Myself and my husband have just bought multiple restaurants, right? He's a chef. And that came from this industry. That came from this. We upgraded our house. I no longer live in the house where all the abuse took place. We upgraded it, 7-bedroom on the sea. My children go to really good private schools. If I can do this, you can do it too. But I'm going to tell you this, you got to network on purpose. You got to work on your personal development, believe in yourself. Don't let anybody talk you out of your goal. Don't let anybody talk you down. And be a master at your craft. Show up online, be visible every single day. You know, when I teach my group, I'm going to teach you this. Don't ever show up anywhere and don't show up. What do I mean by that? When you come on a Zoom, turn your cameras on, be remembered. When you go into a room, maybe it's your earrings, maybe it's your hair, maybe it's a jewelry piece, maybe it's the color that you wear. Don't ever go anywhere and not be remembered. Don't ever go anywhere and not show up. Be over the top, be remembered, be that person that's constantly in the chat box, typing. Be that person that's visible, making eye contact, go into rooms, find a way, force your way into the rooms so that you're seen. You never know. You never, ever know who's watching, who's seeing you. An opportunity could come your way just because your camera's on and you got something in the background. Someone says, oh, I like those that you had. Where did you get it from? And all of a sudden you have a conversation going. Don't ever show up without showing up. Be remembered. Be authentically you. I used to change the way that I was and wanting to copy other people because I felt like I was a misfit, but actually it's the misfit parts of me that helped me get to the next level. It was the crazy in me that helped me get to the next level. And I wanted to hide that crazy all the time. Own your beauty. Show up as your best self all the time. It's 1 a.m. right now, nearly 2 a.m. in the morning here in the UK. And I'm sitting here in my office dressed as if I'm about to go. You should see me. I got the heels on. I'll tell you guys something. You can't even see my feet. But there's something about it that just makes me feel good. I'm sitting up. I got my waist strainer on. You can't even see my stomach, right? But you feel good when you are good. And when you are good, you're going to deliver better. Be intentional about your morning routine. Mind work, heart work, phone work. Write down your goals, execute, set alarms in your phone. I have 3 alarms in my phone every day. And they just say, remember who you are. And these 3 alarms are to remind me how great I am. You know why? Because there's too many things out there that could confuse my spirit. So set an alarm on your phone 3 times to remind you how great you are. So you can say your affirmations and you can be the best version of yourself. I want to give you another networking tip. This is called a tappy. Okay, it's called a tappy, Tappy. Now, you network on purpose, network intentionally. Go onto the Tappy site. I'm not affiliated with them. I should be because I've been promoting them everywhere. But you go onto the Tappy site, okay, and you pay a one-time fee. I think it's about $20 or $15. It's not expensive. And you get everywhere you go, you tap. You tap on an iPhone, all your details come up. So now you don't have to play around with manual business cards. It taps on an iPhone and, potential clients, there's the barcode, they can scan the barcode and now they get all your details. Okay, so invest in your business, even if it's $20, even if it's $10, get into a spirit of investing in your business all the time. Invest. Now, I want you to write one affirmation and I want you to say it every single day. And this affirmation is, new and exciting leaders are joining my business every single day. I don't care if you're in a position where you have thousands of people in your team. I don't care if you're in a position of rebuilding. I don't care if you're in a position you just joined today. I want you to affirm it for the next 21 days. New and exciting leaders are joining my business every single day. Get your tappy, set your alarms, and lastly, get to work. I challenge you guys to go live. Go live, be consistent on your posting, and I promise you this, that you're going to see a dramatic change in all areas of your life. And a top tip, stay healthy, drink water, get good sleep, okay, work out. I've never seen a successful person that doesn't work out. And when I saw that, that made me uncomfortable because I'm lazy. And so I said, no, Nikki, we're going to change that affirmation that I am working out every single week. And I joined my local netball team and I'm playing, you guys call, it's in between basketball and volleyball kind of thing, right? It's an English thing called netball. And I joined it and, I'm feeling healthier. I've lost a stone in the last 3 weeks and I've got another stone to go. And I want you guys to be in a position where you're feeling your best self internally and externally as well. And so with that being said, I know I went 10 minutes over, but I hope you found value in this. If anybody ever messages you for money or anything, it's not me. There's a lot of scammers online. So please never ever fall for these hackers. They're crazy people. But thank you so much for having me, Ashley, Bethany, and Ariane. I absolutely adore you. I love you guys. I know you guys are about to hit 6-7 figures this year. Multiple streams of income is your portion. You are the ones to free nations and generations. Your lineage is the first. You guys are first level, first generational multi-millionaires, billionaires in the making. You have large territories. Your business is booming. Your business is flooding with amazing new and exciting leaders are joining your business every single day. And I'm super excited to see all that you do. Last bit of homework I'm going to give you is this. I want you to write a list within the next 24 hours. If you're smart, if you're intentional, before you go to your bed tonight. And I want you to list all the things that you can do, not what you can't do, all the things you can do that's going to create you income. Write it all down. So if it's Instagram Live, if it's cold calling, whatever it is, I want you to list all the actions that you can do that can create you money. And then I want you to make a commitment to do those things. I don't want you to write mindset. We all know we're good at mindset, but this is about taking action. So write a list of every single thing that is in your power with no extra resources, no extra money, but something that you can do that could get you more clients in. And then I want you to execute it. I know Ashley's going to give me some feedback as well. So every testimony that you have, go share it with Ashley, let her know, and I'm sure she'll feed it back to me as well. God bless you from the United Kingdom. It's an honor to serve you guys, and I can't wait to hear all of the amazing testimonies. We need more women rising in our industry. We need more multi-millionaires and billionaires coming. I don't know about you, I saw Rihanna and I got a little bit emotional because I love women who win on a big scale. So we got to do this. We need to do it for the industry. We need to do it for our femininity. And especially those Black girls, we got to do it for them as well. So make it happen for yourself. God bless you, Ashley, Bethany, and Ariane. Absolutely love you all. My Instagram is my name, as you can see here. I am Nikki Sutherland. You'll see it on the screen there. Thank you so much for having me. Have an incredible rest of your day. Thank you, Ashley. I'll hand it back to you, girl.
Yes, thank you. You killed it. Thank you so much. I know everyone is feeling the energy. And I'm just at a loss of words. I appreciate you.